Hello, it's been a while. So, I ended up getting the flu for about a week. That kind of sucked. So that's pretty much what put me out of commission when I stopped recording videos. But then after that, I actually did another project. So I uploaded another video. That's the one about fandom types. I recorded with my friend. And I thought that went well. I actually have learned a few more things about fandom types since then. In particular, if I've been actually, this kind of leads into my other topic, where I've been working on a new crate. It's called env.io, I believe. I believe what I mean. I know it's called that. But yeah, it's based on Scala's Zio library, because I took that course, or that 3-day workshop, and with John A. DeGoes, and it was really cool, and I really liked what I saw. I thought Zio was pretty nice, and I just wanted to. It's not a serious project. It's just a way for me to practice with traits and various other more, I guess, would you call those advanced Rust things? I don't know, but yeah, it's given me a lot of practice with traits, and I've realized that there are some cases where you have you're doing like an impl trait, and then you introduce like a generic here, but then the generic doesn't appear in like the thing you're in the trait itself, or in the struct or whatever you're implementing the trait for. And so then it'll like complain like, oh no, this generic isn't bound to anything. And so then you might have to like put the generic onto one of those things, but it's like, well, how do I do that? It doesn't take one. So you can just use a phantom type on like your struct or whatever, and it'll just take it. So yeah, I've actually found more uses for phantom types there. I'm not really sure if there's better ways around that problem, but yeah, that's what I've figured out so far. What else? So yeah, that's also something that's been eating up my time. That's why I haven't really been recording much, working on this project much. So someone actually pinged me recently about my Amethyst tile map project or tile map example project that I made. I think, was it last year or the year before, something like that. And they were like, hey, it's out of date. It doesn't work with the latest version of Amethyst. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I need to get on that. So yeah, that's pretty much what kicked my butt back into gear, and that's why I'm here. In the meantime, though, I have also made some changes. So this new game RNG class exists, I guess. Class? Yeah, I guess it's almost like a object-oriented class. I did actually play around with shuffle. So yeah, this game RNG thing just basically replaces passing around a seed and like storing a seed in the state here. So I actually have an RNG proper for the state. I actually played with different encodings. One of them was without the mutable reference here. I thought it'd be nicer if I did it in like a more, I guess, functional way. Like this just mutated self and then returned self, so that way it will look essentially like it was a pure function, even though it's doing a mutation under the hood. It's just that you can't tell because you can only use the variable once because it's getting moved. And that does work, but I realized that it's essentially the same thing as like turning this thing into like a Kleisli arrow in some kind of Kleisli category. And unfortunately what ends up happening is that we get like a tuple now with like an RNG and an option of a vec of something, and then suddenly question mark doesn't work so nicely anymore, and it's basically like having a almost monad layer on top, like having a big old monad stack. And well, I'm not using monad transformers here, obviously, because, well, Rust doesn't really support monads in functional programming, really, or at least it doesn't support it well. So And also they're slow. That's another thing I should point out. Modded transformers are not really the most efficient things in the world. So I ended up just taking a mutable reference and decided, you know, I'm just going to keep it that way. It's probably more idiomatic to Rust anyway. So yeah, that's my reasoning for that. I ended up removing a few to-dos here and there. I figured that they were not things that I really liked, such as there was one, I think, in like seed.rs where I was like, yeah, just put all these things in different modules. And then I realized that, well, hang on. I have like already this many files, and we've barely done anything. That seems like a really bad problem, because I just feel like it's just going to completely like bloat up the namespaces and everything. It's not... I'm not really happy with the way that things have become in terms of structure here. I know that they have made changes to the module system in Rust Edition 2018, so that these mod.rs files are no longer going to be required. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I understand the reasoning. They don't like having, like, from a directory organizational structure, it looks nicer to have these mod.rses, but if you have like 10 of them open, for example, then it becomes a lot harder to tell like which mod RS you're looking at. Obviously IntelliJ is really nice and actually shows you like the parent directory, so I actually can differentiate between them, but for other people who are using other text editors, they can't see this part. Their plugins or whatever are just not smart enough for that. So yeah, it's in some ways I would say it's actually more of a tooling limitation more than a bad language design or like a bad I don't know, module system design, but they've made their choice. I think the old way is still available in Rust Edition 2018, so if you want to use that, you can still use it. But yeah, that's the reason why they've made that change. Yeah, it's a to each his own sort of thing. So without any further delay, yeah, so the project runs. I did get to a point where it still runs. So no problems there. Still a whole bunch of unused stuff. I need to clean that up. Yep, everything seems good there. But first, I want to get the tile mapping stuff finished. So I don't remember what I was doing exactly. I probably should have checked over the footage from last time, because it's been a while. It's been almost a month, basically. Has it been a month? It might actually have been a whole month. I can't remember. But where is it? Is it here? Yeah, it's probably here. There were some compilation errors last time, I think. I fixed those, actually. Yeah, I did fix them, because... Right. They wanted some kind of an algebra library, and originally these are just taking arrays. Now they're a little more, I guess, strongly typed, and they have a vector representation now from an algebra. So yeah, I just basically replaced this and this with these two vector types from the an algebra library, which comes with Amethyst, by the way. They do re-export the an algebra stuff right here, so that's fine. Let me think, what else? Yeah, like this vector type, by the way, it's really confusing when you think about it. Like there's a vec type, and then there's like a vector type, vector 3 and vector 2. And I know like game developers are not really happy about Rust's usage of vec, because vec is nice and short and easy, but vector, well, I guess they could have called it vec2 and vec3, but then it would have been sort of more ambiguous with Rust's definition of vector. So yeah, these are completely different things. This is more like, this is obviously the mathematical vector, and this is like a, I guess, list or collection vector. So I've seen some discussion about that. Anyway, I should probably actually start testing stuff, shouldn't I? I really don't remember what I was doing last time, though. So who calls generate tile map plane, and why? What am I doing with this? That's weird. Also, I think there might be a new version of Amethyst. Let me think. Cargo. No, there isn't. I checked. The latest release was still a 0.10.0, so that's still the same. Still not entirely sure about all these different error types. I mean, I think it's nice to have different types for the errors, but having them all boxed up like that, like the way that they are, is a little bit less flexible. I probably could have done it as like an error enum instead, if I really wanted to, but I didn't. I didn't choose to do it that way, and so I'm gonna roll with this. I'm gonna roll with this until I find that it's problematic. So generate tile data happens here. Then we return this okay. Yeah, we return a result. And hopefully everything works. So yeah, this is a big ol' method that does a bunch of stuff and then returns back the tile map info. Yeah, and this function takes a pretty nice sort of monadic structure. Oh, that reminds me, this question mark operator is not like monadic do at all. It only works for types. Well, it works like monadic do, but only for types that are isomorphic to result. So, I mean, result is basically an either, and either is basically a canonical example of a sum type. So, I guess what I'm actually saying is that this only works for sum types. And it's well, sum types where that are isomorphic to either, I guess, because they have to have like exactly 2 arguments. But then you can always encode as much as you want in each of the sides, right? Like if you have like a success and a fail case, you can always put like 3 more variants in here and then 2 variants for the error, right? Like, I mean, it is a little bit different in terms of structure, but yeah, it's still the sum of the 2 sides. So anyway, it's that's not really important. But yeah, this is not... This thing, aside from doing the special implicit conversion to a box for errors, it also doesn't work for other structures. So if you have like a reader monad, good luck. You're not going to be able to do much with that. So testing this is going to be kind of hard, I think, because first of all, I need a way to actually test. The file that gets opened. And this is hard coded. I should not do that. It's not a good idea. So parse Tmx file is going to take a string reference, I guess. I don't really see why not. Let's just call it tile map path. And I'm gonna keep this around in a comment. Example path. Yeah, I feel like that's a good idea. Let's see, and we can just pass it whatever. Actually, you know what? We should give this our tile map path. Which will be a string. Is that a good idea? I don't know. I feel like I should have a struct for that, like a tile map. I don't want to just pass in any old string. It needs to be a tile map path at least. Like it should be typed as a tile map path. I'm just gonna throw that in somewhere after all these errors, maybe. Yeah, maybe right here. one just takes a path that has this type, except this has to. It needs to have the lifetime. It needs to know. Wait, actually, that can be figured out implicitly. I'm gonna leave the compiler to do that for me. Got the keyword struct. But yeah, that should be fine. Are you complaining about this? Okay, fine. It doesn't want me to do it implicitly. I will do it explicitly, but it really doesn't matter. And yeah, this thing will take a tile map path. And instead of a string down here, we'll take the tile map path, and then we're just gonna get the thing out of it. There we go. Perfect. That should still compile, hopefully. Borrowing rules should allow that. Otherwise we're kind of stuck. Yeah, there we go. That's what I figured. So now, image source, interesting. This probably shouldn't be hard-coded either. Now that I'm looking at that probably shouldn't be hard-coded. Don't really like that in particular. Yeah, a lot of the stuff happening here isn't really full of logic. I guess the most logical part is this. Yeah, this is the part where most of the logic actually happens. So if anything could be abstracted away, maybe it's the types here, I don't know. Then again, I don't really want to do that. Because I feel like this thing is so many layers deep, right? Like, what would I do here exactly? Like, I could take like some kind of interface, but what? And I have to implement some kind of, trait for this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for the sake of like testing, though, that might be nice actually. Because then I could actually create mocks. I could like mock this and then create. Yeah, I could like pass in something that implements some kind of tileset dimensions trait, I guess. I don't know, or a dimensions trait that has the same fields and does the same stuff. I could do that. That's kind of tempting. Because it would give me a nice way of testing, wouldn't it? Same with the tiled map. That might also be good to do. So many choices. I kind of think I'm just going to ignore that, though. So, oh god, yeah, this is kind of hard to test right now, isn't it? Because I could call initialize tile map, and I do want to do this sort of like end-to-end test. But yeah, then I'd have to like mock up like an actual Tmx file, right? Like I'd actually have to create a Tmx file. I'd have to actually create a real, like, there's a whole bunch of things I'd have to create that I don't really want to. I mean, in a way, it would be more realistic, but I'm not trying to test their parser. That's not the goal. The goal is not to test their parser. The goal is to test my code. So, Yeah, I'm starting to think that maybe what I need to do is make this generic, take make a trait, have this guy implement that trait, or not you, Tomat path. Well, that's not really the that's not the problem. Yeah, I have a bit of a lingering cough too. That's a thing that'll happen. The part that needs to be made generic is here. Yeah, I need to actually do something different. So, I don't really know how I'm going to fix this. I have to be able to, I guess, have like an openable thing here that does a mock file open. And then I could have something here that does like a... Well, tiled could still parse whatever comes back, right? Although, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this takes. I can't find the declaration either. Whatever file open returns, though, if I can mock that, I could replace this part specifically with some other struct that does this functionality, that opens this file, but I can replace it with like a mock file opener, if you know what I mean. And then I can inject that as a dependency here, so I could add that as another parameter, I guess. Not really sure if that's the best way to do this, but I figure like what's the worst that could happen, right? So I mean, I don't know. I feel like I should test this stuff before I move on, because if I don't test it, I'm gonna start running into problems, and then I'm gonna be really confused. I've done that before. I've done it in the past. I've gotten incredibly confused trying to solve tile map issues, and I just don't feel comfortable just smoke testing it. You know, just doing like manual smoke testing. It's just it's too scary. Actually, I don't even remember what happens after this either, because I have to actually render the tile map somewhere, right? I don't remember how that works. So this is interesting. This is quite the predicament. I'll create a file opener trait. Now what is... Okay, I need to look up what file open does. So we're gonna go ahead and pop open Google here. We're gonna look up Rust file maybe that's... There we go. Result, which returns a file. Okay, that kind of sucks. Okay, in that case, maybe what we need to do is, instead of... Well, this returns a tiled map. Can I create a tiled map? Like, is that something that they'll allow me to do? Tiled. Oh, here we go. Well, if I can create all of these things, probably. Actually, are they public fields? That might not be the case. If they're not public fields, then I can't really mock that. I could do like a information extractor that, so instead of playing with tiled maps, I use like a new type over this, and then I return that instead, and that just delegates to this guy. I could do that instead. That would work, and it's a tempting option for sure. I feel like that might actually be the best choice. I have to test this. I just feel it. I feel I have to test it. A part of me, like a large part of me, really wants to just like hurry up and try and get this rendering. So what am I gonna do? What am I going to do? I don't know. It's so hard. It's such a hard choice. And I have to make my own custom rendering pass, and I've forgotten how to do that entirely. Like, do I really want to do that? Okay, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Today we're gonna focus on testing, because I feel like it's important. It is very important to test this code. So we're gonna make a serious effort today to actually try and make this testable. All of this stuff testable. And then I guess not I was gonna say tomorrow, but maybe next time, because I don't know if I'm gonna record tomorrow. I will put in some serious effort to go and research how to create the God, I forgot what it's called. The tile map pass, rendering pass, and then I'll implement that. Well, yeah, I'm hoping tomorrow. I'm really hoping tomorrow. I don't really know. No promises. But I am hoping that I can do it tomorrow. So, yeah, today let's focus on getting this into a testable state. Alright, so parse Tmx file returns a map, and we know that our map is a tiled map. But what do we actually need the map for? So I have a fetch tileset thing here. So we call map.tilesets.get. So all this is doing is calling into map.tilesets. Is there any other place where we're using this map? We are. We're getting the width and the height, and then we're passing it to generate tile data. So what does generate tile data do with the map? It calls map.layers, and that's it. So our mock tile map needs the ability to basically do all those things. Get the layers, get the width and the height, and get whatever this other guy needed, the fetch tile set needed. We'll make a mock map, and then we'll make a mock function for this that will be able to return our mock map, and then that becomes testable now. So that would be good. What's tile set? Fetch tile set. Oh, and we also have to mock this too, because the tile set also comes from somewhere. Yeah, we have to fetch like some kind of image source, and that's going to actually do stuff. Actually, the image source isn't something that we use. I'm pretty sure the image source is just something that we return. It comes, yeah, the image source gets stored in the tile map info. So the image source could even be mocked as like an empty string or something, you know? Like I can do that. That's not hard. Alright, so we have a plan. Let's start mocking this map, shall we? Okay. Trying to think, how am I going to do this? I'm going to start right here. Actually, let's start after this comment. I don't know why this thing is commented out. If I don't know what this comment is for, I guess I should just delete it, right? Because I don't think I'm going to need that. At least not right now. We're going to create a new struct. It's going to be called, I don't know. Actually, we're going to make it a trait. And this trait is going to be called map, I guess. Actually, that's not a good name. We're going to call it maybe we call it tiled map or something. I don't know. So we get a tiled map. Right? I'm pretty sure that their map isn't called a tiled map, right? It's just called map. Yeah, it's just namespaced with tiled. Actually, they just call their thing map, so I don't really know why I'm making such a big fuss over that name, but oh well. So our trait is going to have several methods. There's going to be a with. These are all going. I guess they're just gonna. Yeah, these will just use a reference to self. I think that's okay. And what is width anyway? Width of this guy is what's how much dimensions? U32. Excellent. Okay. So let's return to U32. And I'll just oh wait, yeah. This is an interface. What am I doing? Height. So there's one thing I want to talk about. I think I'm gonna save that for another video. It's about traits. The things I've discovered about traits have made me see them in a very different light. So yeah, I thought it'd be cool to do a video on that. It's a separate thing, not as one of my Mini-rando logs. So we have width, height. And what else do we have? I forgot. Again. Tile sets. We need to get the tile sets. Okay. So tile sets is going to return... What is tile sets? It's a vector of tile set. Okay. We might have to make our own tile set type as well. I'm not namespacing stuff, am I? Actually, I am. I'm pretty sure I am because, yeah, I'm only using tiled. I'm not using, yeah. So this would be tile set. So that's tile sets, at least for now. We're gonna probably have to change that in the future. And what else is there? No, it wasn't this. It was this one. Layers. Yeah, layers is a vector of layers. Okay. We're only going to add methods for the things that we need. We're not going to go crazy here. Whoa, but my IDE sure is. I don't know why my IDE does that. I think it's because I'm pressing the wrong hotkeys. I'm pressing hotkeys accidentally without even realizing it. So it's a vec tiled layer. Come to think of it, this could go in the. Well, this doesn't. This cannot go in the test directory, but this struct could. Yeah, this part I'm not so sure about. I might not be able to mock that so easily. I could always just, well, no. We want real data, right? Or like, not real data, but like semi-real data. So I'm probably gonna have to mock that in some way. That's okay. Now what's nice about traits in Rust, of course, is that we can implement them for external types. So we don't have to do any like crazy adapters or anything. No crazy object-oriented design patterns to accomplish that. This kind of stuff comes easy. It's nice. What's this? Tile Was it tile sets? Or I can't remember. It might have been if I look at the trait, it'll just tell me, right? Tile sets, yes. That was a vector of tiled tile set. There we go. Perfect. And then we can do the impl for that. So we'll do an impl of my tiled map for mock tiled map. And we're just going to delegate to the underlying structure. Not sure about the vectors. Can I just return the vector, or I'm not sure if that works. I guess we'll see. I'm not sure how well that works, because it's been a while since I've really played around with the borrowing rules. What's going on? Why are you complaining? Cannot move more. What? Why can't you, That's weird. That should work, because these are just, sorry, what am I doing? This should be called height. I mean, yeah, these are, like, references, but for something that's clearly going to be clone, I don't see why that would be a problem. For the vectors, I think we might have some problems. It's okay if I clone in a test, though. I wouldn't be too upset about that. Come to think of it, this tiled map... Actually, no. Yeah, no. Because this is a tiled map that I can create. This is one that I'm allowed to create, and that one is not so much. If I'm reading this correctly. Yeah, this one I can create. That one, I don't know why I'm having trouble thinking about that right now. This should be fine. There shouldn't be any problems with this. I was trying to see if there was a simpler way of doing this. That's what I was trying to do, and I'm not sure if there is. So, if there is a simpler way, I'd love to know. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I also don't think I'll be able to do this. But we're going to implement them anyway and see what happens. Of all the things it complains about this. These U32s, as if it can't just copy these. I mean, U32 has copy on it. I don't understand. This boggles my mind. I think it's just the compiler, or like IntelliJ. The IntelliJ plugin's just being kind of dumb. Because I don't feel like there's any reason why that shouldn't work. Like, at all. Honestly. Yeah, so we're going to have the layers here, and then those will have tiles, and in those tiles there will be rows, I guess. So that's... yeah, that's a bit of a thing. We're going to have to basically unfold that entire structure into a bunch of, like, mock classes. I keep using the word classes. I've been doing too much OO lately. That bothers me. There's a copy constructor. I'm like so sure it'll compile. I'm really, really, really sure that it would compile. You don't think? Come to think of it, it doesn't have to return tiled layers. I could add generics and just say it'll return a vector of some things. that I specify. And I'm pretty sure that would be okay. It's not like I'm doing dynamic dispatch or anything. So it wouldn't be like... I'm pretty sure it'd still be object safe. So I could, in theory, I could do something like this. Yeah, I could add the generics here. Oops, what am I doing? Cool. I'm pretty sure that'll work. I think. I mean, if it doesn't work, then oh well. You can always go back to the concrete definitions, but I'd rather avoid doing that. I'm not sure how this works. I hope that works. I have no idea. I feel like it should. I mean, I guess we can try compiling and seeing what happens. Alright, this is in the tests, so it's probably not even going to pick that up, sadly. But yeah, like, I want to be able to just like mock this right now and just like see, can I construct one of these? So we're going to make a mock tiled map. We're going to give it a width of, I don't know, 64, a height of 64, and give it some layers. You know, this definitely needs to have, yeah, there's no way. Whatever our layer type is, let's make it vector 32. I don't, yeah, whatever. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure when I create this, I'm supposed to specify those types up front. So how about we go with U32 and U32, so we just have a vector new. It's an empty vector, and we'll have another one for the tile sets. So vec new. There we go. What's wrong with that? In fact, what's going on here? Oh, because we don't have our generics on here. Well, of course. So I'm pretty sure that this doesn't need to be here, and this doesn't need to be here. Those can come from up here, and we'll just put this up here. We can declare them. Oops. And then we'll just pass them in through here. In theory, this should work. Actually, I don't know. Assert EQ. I don't know. True. It's like a tautology, but hey. Can you, like, let me run this, please? That's really weird. It should allow me to run these tests. But it doesn't? I can't run this? Wait, what's going on? Shouldn't I be able to run this? I have the CFG test on this. So that's kind of weird. What is going on? Is it because of these? That should not be a problem, though. Different info member order from the trait. Oh, that's just a style thing. I think that's a style thing, isn't it? Oh, no. I think they added, like, Rust FMT to this, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Typo in word tile sets. No? There's no typo there. Yeah, but they did add Rust FMT to the IntelliJ plugin, so now I'm going to have a thing that complains about style. I hope it doesn't get too in your face about it, because some of those style plugins are really annoying, and I feel like they don't improve the quality of your code, they just point out things that are subjectively annoying to certain people with OCD. You know, like, it's like, that's not what's making your code bad. I just feel like screaming that sometimes at these linters or whatever, these style checkers. I mean, not all of them are bad, but some of them are just so freaking awful. It's like, why? Just stop. Oh yeah, we have a big problem. We can't run our test. It's not picking it up. I don't know why that is, though. That's really bizarre. I've never seen that before. Is there something I have to do to make that happen? Well, I have mod tile map here, so it shouldn't be that. Mod tests. Yeah, I've done this in other places, like in the filler. The mod tests here. Oh wait, there's... The run button disappeared here too. Never mind. What's going on? Hello? IntelliJ? You don't seem very okay. What is going on? Yeah, this isn't right. This ain't right. Is it because of these things that it thinks are errors because I'm not on Rust Edition 2018 or whatever? Because if that's the case, I'd be really dumb. Alright, we're going to look it up. We're going to look up how to run tests. How to run tests. Rust. Ah, bugger. I'm going to have to actually look for the... Oh, here it is. Running tests. Cargo test. Can I run, like, specific tests? What? Why don't you just tell me how to run tests in a specific module or something? Is this not... What is going on here? This is not helpful. I mean, it's helpful if you're one of those people who needs one of these specific things, but, like, isn't there anything for just, like, how do I run the tests in this one specific module? Like, shouldn't that just be done? Cargo test -- help. Okay, well, I guess I can try doing that. Okay, let's run a cargo command then. Wait, yeah, here we go. I don't have any cargo commands. Oh. No cargo projects found. Select the cargo.toml. Oh. That is something. I'm trying to think. How could it not find the cargo project? I gave it the cargo file. Okay, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna do a test -- help. It didn't. That's weird. It didn't give the help, it just tried to run the tests, I think. Test framework quit unexpectedly. Okay. That was weird. Let me try again. Fine, let's try a cargo test, see if that... Okay, 2 errors. Did I put those in the trait? I can't remember. I did. I guess this also, yeah, these, I guess there's, I don't have a choice. This has to go into the trait, right? Like, makes sense. Can I do this? It should allow me to do that. Just let me run a cargo test at least. Okay, so we're getting some compiler errors here. Tile set says incompatible type for trait. Selected type parameter, found a different type parameter. Ooh. Did it now. Wait, I must have reversed the order of my arguments. It's tile set and then layer. Tile set first, layer second. Okay. My bad. I'm not very good at this, apparently. At least it gets caught at compile time. I am thankful for that. Like, every time it doesn't compile, every time the program doesn't compile, I don't, like, blame the language. I blame myself for being an idiot. And writing a clearly incorrect program that definitely shouldn't run. So... that's the way I like to see it. I think it's a better mentality to have. Oh. That's not compiling? Oh, because of the test. Huh. That's funny. I do need to mutably borrow this boy. Like that. There we go. And we still cannot compile. Why is that? Because we cannot move out of borrowed content. Oh. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. Interesting. That can be fixed. I think I can clone this and clone this. I'm okay with cloning these in particular. Oh, but vector doesn't, ew, that's right, because whatever's inside might not be clonable. I see. So I could implement, I could specify that these also have to implement clone. I'm trying to think, what's a good way out of this particular situation? Because I'm sure that there would be a way out of this. There should be, I would think. So what is the specific scenario? The scenario is I need to return a vector that this struct holds, but hang on now. This tiled map has vectors. Excuse me. I should have muted that. I'm sorry. Usually better about that. I was not for that particular set of sneezes. It was a little bit too fast for me to react to. Oh well. So this returns a vector of tile sets. That's because I'm borrowing. I'm pretty sure I am just like borrowing the tile set, right? Or at least I'm borrowing. Or we're borrowing something when we do like a dot tile sets. I'm pretty sure, because I don't think I can just move that out of there. Like this map.layers. I didn't call into iter on this. Map.layers equals. Oh. Actually, can I do like wait, hang on. I think the way that you check is like this, right? Oh. It lets me do that. That's annoying. I wanted to see the type. How about if I give it a type of unit? There we go. Found a vector of layers. Okay. So I am able to move that out of map. Interestingly. I'm not allowed to move it out of map down here though, because I'm taking a reference to self. So I guess if I take ownership of self, it'll let me do that. Because that's kind of annoying. But yeah, it makes sense. It would make sense. So this should be okay, right? It should allow me to do this. What? Are you still complaining? Expect a reference because the trait expects a reference. Duh. Durr. Yeah. Okay. That's enough. That is quite enough. I've had it up to here with this thing. Hurry up and just work. 2. Why? Because I'm cloning. So I'm still trying to call clone on something that doesn't implement clone. Ah! What am I doing? I mean, see, I feel like I rely on compilers too much as a crutch sometimes, and I get because it allows me to do really sloppy stuff, and then the compiler will catch it, and then I'm like, okay, well at least the compiler caught it, and then later on when I'm using a language that's less strict with its compiler, I don't catch things as often, and I find that that's kind of For me, that's kind of a problem. So I'm very thankful for Rust's incredibly strict compiler, because I always do dumb stuff and I'm kind of sloppy. That's me be kind of like fast and loose with my reasoning, but yeah, I can cause issues when I'm outside of that environment. And of course, Rust's compiler isn't perfect either. It doesn't catch everything. I don't really subscribe to the whole if it compiles, it works philosophy. That's a little too cavalier for me. But yeah, we are able to create our mock map now, finally. At long last. And now we simply just have to do the exact same freaking thing, but this time for the actual tiled map. Alright, let's run Mini-rando, because that should compile that code. I just want to see that this works, which it didn't, because of return type. Oh. Interesting. Okay. That's fine, I think. I should be able to just do this, I want to say. Supply concrete types here. Unresolved reference, tile set. Maybe not. Maybe that's not okay. What does the compiler say? IntelliJ didn't like it, but I listen to the compiler, not IntelliJ, because the compiler is usually smart, and IntelliJ is not. What did I do down here? Oh, I just made this thing generic. Okay, that's fair. You know, there's multiple ways of... there's more than one way to skin a cat. And that seems to work. So, finally, I can just, I can just use my tiled map here, and it should just work exactly the same as it always has. So that's excellent. And my mock tiled map can be used for tests. And I just need to rinse and repeat this for all the rest of the tiled stuff here. Until there is no more tiled goodness, I guess. There's no more tiled-y goodness. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm not going to be recording anymore. But maybe tomorrow I'll pick up where we last left off here.